Global Television. Amuyi Agmofrebe. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times 276. You can download the Global TV Nigeria mobile app for Android and iOS devices to keep track of our 247 broadcast. President Bola Tinubu has reaffirmed his administration's dedication to democratic governance as Nigeria marks 26 years of uninterrupted civilian rule. Speaking at a joint session of the National Assembly, the president hailed June 12 as a symbol of national resilience and justice. He also honored Chief Moshood Abiola and other pro-democracy heroes while dismissing fears of a one-party state, assuring Nigerians of a thriving multi-party system. Queen Agaba has details.
At this point, I plead for your indulgence so that I may put a terrible rumor to bed. To those who ring the alarm that the APC is intent on a one-party state, I offer you a most personal promise. While your alarm may be as a result of your panic, it rings an error. At no time in the past, nor any instance at the present, and at no future junction, shall I view the notion of one-party state as good for Nigeria.
The president emphasized youth empowerment, digital infrastructure, and industrial growth as key priorities and praised the National Assembly and armed forces for their continued support, while calling on all Nigerians to uphold the core values of June 12, freedom, equity, and accountability as the country charts a course towards progress.
Our administration is fully committed to boosting the economy and productive base through investment in critical infrastructure, roads, expansion of port operations, rail, and power. We are creating a new environment in which industry and manufacturing can thrive.
The President of the Senate, in his remarks, framed the event as a symbol of national unity, institutional synergies, and constitutional development, while affirming executive and legislative collaboration.
President of the Senate, I reaffirm the unwavering commitment of the 10th National Assembly to the cause of the Nigerian people. We must continue to champion every policy that uplifts the poor, empowers our youth, strengthens our economy, and defend the dignity of every citizen of this nation.
Emphasizing inclusive democracy, the Speaker of the House of Reps, Tajuddin Abbas, says the National Assembly has served as the guardian of our democratic institutions, while spotlighting active citizen engagement and a robust legislative agenda aligned with economic, constitutional, and participatory reforms.
Our determination is unequivocal to expedite and finalize the constitutional amendment process by December 2025. Some of our priorities include special reserved seats for women, formal constitutional roles for traditional rulers, and legal backing for a 35% affirmative action, gender policy.
As Nigeria celebrates 26 years of democracy, President Tinubu's commitment to democratic governance and development is a promising step forward. For Global Television, Queen Agaba reporting.
Well, thank you, Queen Agaba. As Nigeria marks June 12 Democracy Day, citizens across the country are reflecting on the state of the nation's democracy, from economic challenges to a resilient hope for a better governance. The day evokes both reflection and renewed expectations. Our correspondent, Priscilla Obasi, took to the streets of Abuja to find out how Nigerians feel about the journey so far, reflecting on the country's democratic struggles and the aspirations.
Democracy Day was originally celebrated on May 29th. The day civilian rule was restored in 1999. But in 2018, the federal government declared June 12 the new date of the Democracy Day, beginning from 2019, in honor of Chief MKO Abiola and the historic 1993 presidential election, widely regarded as Nigeria's freest and fairest elections. As Nigeria prepares to mark the June 12th Democracy Day, we are on the streets of Abuja to hear directly from citizens to find out how Nigerians feel about the Democracy Day. Has it delivered on its promises? And what are the hopes moving forward? Here's what they have to say.
June 12th is not worth celebrating, you know. A lot of things, Nigeria right now is upside down. A lot of things are happening, you know, no structure. Imagine the children, the primary children, they're still at home doing nothing, no school. What is government doing about it? They're on strike. Our children are at home doing nothing. They are not going to school for a full term, no school, nothing. They're just at home doing nothing. Is it fair? And we're here saying that we want to celebrate June 12th. Celebrate what exactly? The children are the future of the children are the future. So if you can't take them as priority, what is even June 12th worth celebrating? It's nothing.
Democracy in Nigeria is a mirage. We're talking about freedom. People say the modern democracy, there is freedom. Freedom of what? When people are hungry, where is the freedom? Are we free from poverty? Until we are free from poverty, we are free from dependency, we are free from, say, malaria fever, mosquito bite. Until we are free from those things, even though there is no freedom. The true freedom is the freedom for people to be happy while they have leader.
And I really do not think democracy is working in Nigeria. First and first, based on our educational definition of democracy, the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Nigeria specifically, this government is not for the people. It's basically for a certain category of people. And is democracy working in Nigeria? Hell no. Nigeria does no longer practice a democratic system of government. It's now a handing over system. I think a particular minister was speaking in Lagos some weeks ago, and he was talking about handing over. If you want to hand over power to somebody. So now they are no longer practicing democracy. They are now practicing a system called handing over, where this sitting governor already knows who he wants to give the position to in the next. You understand? When this time is over, he already knows who he wants to give the the seat to. So our vote doesn't count, our voice doesn't count. Democracy is dead in Nigeria, and it's not existing. So Nigeria does not practice a democratic system. We practice a handing over or godfatherism, or I know you, I know. That's what Nigeria is all about now.
If I should speak to Nigerian leaders, whoever that were elected to the office, I'll tell them that there should be personal sacrifice. Instead, they keep on amassing wealth, and the masses are suffering. So I will ask them to make a personal sacrifice so that the masses will have a dividend of democracy.
I think democracy means to me the people freely expressing how they feel, and then seeing that the government are paying attention and also doing the things that the masses have said they should do. That's democracy to me. That is government paying attention to the cries of the citizens, basically.
I haven't seen the results of democracy working so far. For me, because I'm not really an outside person, but I could say in some cases, let's say probably administrations and offices, I think they are getting better now than before. But aside that, I don't think I've seen any other thing.
Those are the voices of Nigerians sharing their thoughts on Democracy Day. From hope to criticism, one thing that is clear is that citizens are aware and are ready to hold their leaders accountable. As the nation marks the June 12th celebration, the question remains, can Nigeria democracy continue to grow strong and truly deliver for the people? From Abuja, I am Priscilla Obasi, reporting for Global Television.
That's Priscilla Obasi. There's sample opinions of Abuja residents on Democracy Day. The senior special advisor to the president on student engagement, Sunday Adedayo, says this is the first time Nigeria tertiary institutions are experiencing an uninterrupted academic calendar in the last 2 years. Speaking during a solidarity walk organized by the National Association of Polytechnic Students on Democracy Day, the senior special advisor commended Nigeria students for embarking on a solidarity walk to mark the day. Global TV correspondent Ramsey Enoch Agbo now reports.
The senior special advisor to President Bola Tinubu, Sunday Adebayo, during the special solidarity work by the National Association of Polytechnic Students, NAPS, to mark Democracy Day, appreciated the leadership of NAPS for coming out to say thank you to President Tinubu's leadership.
I commend the leadership of Nigerian students in this country. Like they have said, this is the first time that 2 years uninterrupted academic calendar in the Nigeria that we grew up, where your 4-year course turned to 7 years. I thank Nigerian students for coming out to say thank you to Mr. President. And I'm sure this is just an Oliver Twist. Appreciating the president is another way for them to be asking more from the president. And I know he's their father. He has the listening here. He will definitely listen to their yearnings.
The president, National Association of Polytechnic Students, Paul Oganya, who spearheaded the solidarity work, said the work was to let Nigerians know that this is the first administration to invest so much in Nigerian students.
It is worthy to note that since the inception of democracy, it is the president that has invested much in education. That is why we are gathered here today in this program organized by the National Association of Polytechnic Students to say Adupe Mugode, Mr. President, for what you have done for us. The budgetary allocation to the educational sector this year is very, very, very enormous, and we are proud of him. His investment in TVET, his investment in Telford, his investment in the Nigeria Education Law for which is NELFORD. It is very, very, very pleasant to us. Today, the Nigerian students do not have a reason to say we can no longer go to school, or we don't have a sponsor who will sponsor us to the school.
President, National Association of Nigerian Students, Olushola Oladoja, who also participated in the work, says it is the first time Nigerian students are getting loans and monthly stipends from government to enable them go through school.
This is democracy, 26 years ago of democracy. This is the first time that we are having the highest budget in education. And this is the first time again that we are having an establishment of student loan, NELFORD. And that have drastically reduced the dropout of students from campuses because of school fees. Because the NELFORD, all what you need to do is just to be a Nigerian and also have matric number of a school to apply for NELFORD. They are not only paying the tuition fee, they are also giving a monthly stipend to the student for them to enable them get something to eat, transport to schools, and it's a wonderful thing that we've never experienced in this country before.
The national president, Niger Delta Student Union government, Keme Romeo, joined his voice to that of other student leaders to thank the president, especially for the pipeline security contracts to secure the pipelines safe at the Niger Delta.
In the Niger Delta, we see a lot of things President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has done for, especially in terms of the oil and gas pipeline security contract he gave to our boss, Chief Government Ebompolo, aka Tompolo, through the Tantita Security Services Limited. It is something that has lifted a lot of students and youths in the Niger Delta. Something that has empowered a lot of us. So it is better if they are doing a work like this. It is still proper that we come to learn our voice. That's why we travel all the way to come and show solidarity to Mr. President today.
Ramsey Enoch Agbo reporting for Global TV News.
In a similar development, as Nigeria observes Democracy Day, a day set aside to reflect on the country's journey under civilian rule, questions continue to arise about the true impact of democracy on everyday Nigerians. 26 years after the return to democratic governance in 1999, how are citizens feeling about the state of the nation? Our correspondent Amarachi Ibe now reports from Owerri.
Democracy Day, now marked on June 12, commemorates the historic 1993 presidential election, widely regarded as Nigeria's freest and fairest, and honors the struggle for democratic governance. While the government celebrates milestones, many residents here says democracy is here to deliver meaningful change in their lives.
Since the 25 years of democracy in this country, there have been no impartation. Life still remains stagnant. People are suffering. You can see how everywhere looks like. Insecurity, so many things not to mention.
For some, democracy is a simple word, not a lived reality.
But for 25 years, the trouble we have in Nigeria is that the real people, the masses, are not being carried along. What do I mean? The things that are supposed to get to the masses, the poor people, are not getting to them. The bourgeois, the capitalists, the rich, the mighty, they hang it on the up. The thing doesn't get down. So, and that is the challenge we have. Democracy is democracy if the people who are supposed to benefit are benefiting.
So democracy, they were supposed to be happy, but the way economy is affecting everybody. This fuel subsidy, our president should listen to the masses and try to bring it down. Let him bring the fuel subsidy down. Let him help the masses. We are suffering. We are suffering in the country. That's all I to say for now.
Others agree that democratic rule is better than military rule, but says progress has been too slow and often unfair.
Stop fooling ourselves. There is nothing like democracy in this place. Nigeria as a whole, there is nothing like democracy. Let me just tell you the truth. So I don't have anything to say other than to say there is nothing like democracy. Them themselves, they know the truth. There is nothing like democracy. If they say there is democracy, left for them. But for me, there is no democracy.
As Nigeria continues on this democratic journey, the hope of the people remains unchanged. Good governance, accountability, and a country that works for everyone. Happy Democracy Day, Nigerians. From Owerri, Amarachi Ibe, reporting for Global TV News.
Let's turn away from Owerri now, from where Amarachi has been on the ground covering for Global Television. As Nigeria celebrates 26 years of uninterrupted democracy, Governor Hyacinth Alia of Benue State has urged the people never to forget the sacrifices made by the heroes of the country's democratic struggle in 1993. The governor, who made the plea in a broadcast to the state at Government House in Makurdi, said their patriotism and peaceful fight for freedom should continue to inspire and guide the nation's actions. A correspondent, Felicity Indere, reports that the governor also expressed optimism, assuring the people that the signs of peace so far are encouraging.
Nigeria observes Democracy Day in honor of the June 12, 1993 election each year, an electoral exercise widely regarded as the country's most credible poll, won by the late Chief Moshood Abiola.
Today, everybody celebrates Nigeria as a common entity.
Democracy Day activities in Benue commenced with a statewide live broadcast by Governor Hyacinth Alia from the Government House in Makurdi.
Let us not forget the countless Benue citizens, men, women, and youth who lost their lives in various crises across our communities while defending their land and their right to be heard. Democracy thrives only when the people are heard, respected, and protected.
Shortly after the broadcast, the governor was welcomed by a large gathering of union leaders, civil servants, political appointees, and party loyalists who pledged their continued support for both his administration and that of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
We stand united for you, Excellency. Come 2027, you will be elected by the special grace of God. Let me also thank His Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, for his partnership and love for Benue State.
Addressing the pressing issue of security, Governor Alia reassured citizens that both state and federal governments are collaborating to tackle the security crisis that has claimed numerous lives across Benue communities.
For those of us who have chosen and taken an oath to defend them and to protect them and to bring back peace. All the good people in the state, as we reflect on this great day, that we celebrate those who have made Nigeria today, let our conscience remind us of the fact that what unites us is greater than what divides us.
To mark the day, Governor Alia, represented by the Secretary to the State Government, Deborah Abe, visited the Nigerian Correctional Center to commemorate with inmates.
And this is because he recognizes the fact that you are citizens of Nigeria and you're citizens of Benue State.
For the people of Benue, Democracy Day is not only a time to reflect on past sacrifices, but also an opportunity to recommit themselves to protecting and upholding the ideas of democracy, a call to unity, hope, and continued nation building. In Makurdi, Felicity Ndere, reporting for Global TV News.
Many thanks, Felicity. June 12 of every year is now observed as the Nigeria Democracy Day to remember the successes of the nation's democracy. In Kano State, no celebration was held as residents were seen going about their daily businesses, even though the day is declared as a public holiday. Global TV correspondent Idris Jibrin, who went round the state metropolis, reports.
June 12 was first observed as Democracy Day during the last administration of former President Muhammadu Buhari. It is meant to celebrate Nigeria's Democracy Day and to also honor the struggle made by late Abiola following the annulment of June 12 elections by the military administration of General Babangida. In Kano, no celebration was held to mark the day because, according to them, there is nothing to celebrate considering the persistent economic hardship across the country. Nigeria has now enjoyed more than 20 years of uninterrupted democracy, but for some Kano residents, there seems to be little or no achievement, especially on areas of education, health, and economic development, as well as widespread insecurity across the country. Many Nigerians residing in Kano believes that there is nothing to celebrate even on June 12 Democracy Day. However, there are others who argued that having over 20 years of uninterrupted democracy is actually something to celebrate across the country. But generally, people are saying that the quality of education is very poor, infrastructures are very poor, and then there is widespread insecurity, especially in many parts of northern Nigeria. But be that as it may, Nigeria has something to celebrate on the June 12th Democracy Day. From Kano, Idris Jibrin reporting for Global Television News.
Idris Jibrin, thank you so very much. Let's continue to stay in Nigeria's northwest now. From Sokoto comes reports on 26 years of uninterrupted democracy in Nigeria. In this special report, correspondent Lawal Aliyu examines Nigeria's democratic journey, incorporating perspectives from various stakeholders.
Since 1999, Nigeria has conducted multiple general elections, bringing leadership changes and governance reforms. However, electoral transparency and credibility remain key concerns. Are Nigerians truly experiencing the benefit of democracy?
One of the noticeable challenges is in the education sector. We all attend public schools, but today, quality education often feels out of reach unless a child is enrolled in a private institution. Public schools once provide a strong foundation, but now not every child in these schools can truly benefit from their education.
Have issues like the increasing rate of corruption, godfatherism is on the rise. We also have the issue of banditry and also terrorism in the northeast.
So going to the health sector, of course, we are still talking about the primary health care. Is a very, very important aspect of the health system in the country. This is where the preventive and the promotive parts of the health care are being delivered. And this plays a very great role in the health of the entire country and the nation in general.
In some countries, especially other African countries, you can see that they cannot conduct elections regularly, and then also there is military intervention.
However, Bashir Abubakar Sarkin Hausa of the APC believes there is a cause for celebration of uninterrupted democracy in Nigeria.
Regime after regime, government after government, there are a lot of progress. This is to tell you, we choose democracy, the military rule, because in democracy you can voice out your needs, and the government must listen to you.
Despite the progress highlighted, Naomi Kambenda, a concerned citizen in Sokoto, emphasized that patriotic leadership is crucial for democracy to flourish in the country.
So the thing is, we need to sort out patriotic Nigerians, those who really care about Nigeria, not those who plan to make their pockets big from whatever they get occupying public offices. I think it's time we look within and let's be honest with ourselves.
Dr. Awal Musa suggests that strengthening institutions such as the Electoral Commission, judiciary, and police will enhance democracy in Nigeria.
We have to strengthen institutions like the INEC. We have to strengthen institutions like the police to let the police know their roles during elections. And then we also need to create awareness to the electorate, the masses, you understand, to know their rights, to know what they need to do during elections.
Despite democratic governance, Nigeria continues to grapple with insecurity, including insurgency, banditry, and ethnic conflicts. Economic development has been rough while sectors like telecommunications have flourished. Others, such as infrastructure and job creation, lag behind. From Sokoto, Lawal Aliyu, Global TV News.
Lawal Aliyu in Sokoto, there for us. Thank you so very much, Lawal. The lawmaker representing Edo North, Senator Adams Oshomole, has denied allegations that he disrupted Air Peace operations after missing a flight, asserting that he stood against systemic extortion and poor customer service by the airline. Oshomole, a former governor of Edo State, addressed journalists on the issue in Abuja. Ramson Enoch Agbo has more.
Then the manager came out, Your Excellency, sir, how are you? I said, I'm not fine. Okay, don't worry, I will sort you out. Because I said, no. Anything you want to do, do it for everyone. Because how will you sort me out? Even those I met there, who came before me, you are asking them to pay more money. Even for the next flight, well, they told me they have another flight for 8:30. So, if I want to be typical person, Nigeria big man, my face alone is identity. They sort, quote, I said, don't sort me out. Don't extend any courtesy to me. Don't extend any privilege to me. Just enforce my right. And if enforcing right means I'm causing trouble, I will want to cause trouble forever.
The lawmaker representing Edo North, Senator Adams Oshomole, explained that he arrived on time, had checked in online and was denied boarding, while the airline sold tickets on the spot at inflated prices, disadvantaging passengers who booked earlier at lower rates. Oshomole highlighted cases where passengers, including a woman with a baby, were refused boarding despite the plane still being on the ground, while others bought tickets at much higher prices. He refused preferential treatment, insisting that his rights and those of ordinary Nigerians be respected equally, and intervened only when stranded passengers began to protest.
They informed him at 5 a.m. that the check-in will close at 45 minutes before departure, no longer 30 minutes. So I asked the regulator, NACA, is the airline at liberty to change the terms of the contract 1 hour before execution? Because if the flight was meant for 6:30, are checking in to close by 6 o'clock, and you are sending notices out by 5 o'clock, that is 1 hour. You are changing the contract. How can people reorganize their travels? Even if they have chopper that they can overcome traffic. So it's just not right. How did they ask you to pay?
Look at the time I called Angela. 0557.
I was here, I saw you. How much more did they ask you to pay?
Now, for me to enter the second flight, I'm going to pay almost 100 and something thousand. Almost 100 and something thousand for me to enter the second flight. And I was here 6:06. I was here, some people were checking in and they said that they could check in because they checked in online. Online, the network was so terrible that the airport was not opening for you to check in online. And I told them, this baby had been stood down for me. I can show you the dirty clothes. I couldn't even do anything. Since 5 a.m. she has been stood down for meeting. We're rushing so that we can go to the hospital. I paid
Air Peace, on the other hand, accused Oshomole of arriving late for the flight and engaging in violent and destructive behavior, including physically assaulting staff and barricading the terminal entrance, which obstructed other passengers and disrupted airport operations. The airline maintained that boarding had closed in line with their policy and expressed regret over the senator's conduct, emphasizing their commitment to safety, discipline, and respect for due process. Ramsey Enoch Agbo reporting for Global TV News.
That was quite a chaotic scene a few days ago, but it's a good thing the issue has been addressed now. Thank you, Ramsey. You're watching the live broadcast of the Global AM News. When the rest of the broadcast returns shortly, Ocheme to headline second PFL Africa Showdown. Details coming shortly, plus business and foreign on the other side of this break. Please do stay with us. The rest of the news broadcast now returns with business. Electricity consumers may encounter blackouts across the country as the federal government intensifies efforts to stabilize the national grid through planned outages. This comes as at least 6 states in the northeast remained without electricity due to an ongoing outage coordinated by the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, to enable critical transmission infrastructure upgrades. The Managing Director of the Nigerian Independent System Operator, Abdul Mohammed, disclosed this in a video statement released, saying the ongoing blackout in Borno, Taraba, Adamawa, and Yobe states was part of a broader nationwide maintenance project that would affect other regions in due course. On the foreign scene, an Indian Foreign Ministry spokesman says the country has extended its deepest condolences after a London-bound passenger plane crashed in a residential area of the western city of Ahmedabad.
What has happened in Ahmedabad is a very tragic accident. We have lost a lot of people. We extend our deepest condolences to all those who have lost their loved ones. There are, I understand, several foreigners also. Those updates you will receive from the relevant departments, Ministry of Civil Aviation, Air India, and others. They are putting out something, I guess, soon.
All 42 people on board were believed killed, with the jet smashing into buildings housing doctors and their families. Let's go find some excitement from the world of sports now. Nigeria's Patrick Ocheme will headline the second Professional Fighters League Africa event when he takes on Guinea's Mohamed Kamara in a featherweight first-round bout on August 9 at the Big Top Arena, Carnival City in Johannesburg, South Africa. The highly anticipated showdown between Ocheme and Kamara represents a high-stakes matchup between two of the best West African fighters in the world as the inaugural PFL Africa tournament continues its continent-wide journey to crown the first-ever champions. And that's the much we have for you on the Global AM News. Thank you so very much for watching. Just a quick reminder that Global TV is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms using our Global TV NG. We encourage you to also download the Global TV Nigeria mobile app for all Android and iOS devices to keep track of our 247 broadcasts. I'm Uyag Mofwebe, thanking you very especially for watching. And Global Morning starts now. is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
We're on the road to protest. And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
We're on the road to protest. And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
We're on the road to protest. And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
A very good morning to you and welcome to Global Morning on Global Television. Of course, you can call us the Tag Team Friday, TGIF. Thank God it's a Friday. Of course, my name is Godwin Sunday. I'm never doing this alone. I'm doing this with the delectable, the most phenomenal, the most beautiful across the world. I'm doing it with June Manson this morning.
Oh, I'm blushing, but they say black people don't blush. And then you know the most amazing thing in all of this is I won't take that seriously because you say the same thing to Priscilla.
Well,
no.
Okay, now I see jealousy coming in, but then I know I said that to Priscilla, but Probably because we have a reoccurring beauty in the office. So who am I to want to discard the fact that the beauty keeps radiating here?
Yes, it does.
What will a gentleman do?
It's stuck between two women.
But to appreciate when you see good things, it will be a sin for me not to even appreciate all of this beauty.
Yeah, very true, very true.
Even the good books say, he that know what to do and do it not, to him is a sin. Of course, I don't want to commit sin. Who am I not to compliment these beauties when I see one?
All right, well, I'm flattered. It's a beautiful Friday morning, just like Godwin said, and of course, I am Jumai Manson, and it's great to be here. Yesterday was Democracy Day. We're celebrating another milestone, uninterrupted democracy, and it's been a whirl. It's been, would I say, yeah, smooth sail at a point, but of course, we have a lot of things, but let's still be grateful. Of course, for every advantage, there's always a disadvantage, and for the fact that there's so much going on in the country at the moment when it comes to, you know, Nigerians grumbling and saying a lot when it comes to unemployment, when it comes to inflation, when it comes to removal of fuel subsidy and all of that encompassed. But let's still be grateful. Yesterday, Democracy Day. How is democracy when it comes to you as a Nigerian? What do you project? How do you understand it? How has it been?
Well, 26 years, it's quite a journey. A child that is 26 years, if he's a female, by now, I think at this point she should be preparing to cross the other side of the divide to become Mrs.
Yeah,
and if he's a young man at this point in time, he should be talking about preparing for the future and starting your own organization, or probably working with an organization to get experience. But then, when we look at the journey of Nigerians so far, one will say that it has been a very bumpy road. The road has not been smooth in terms of our democracy.
No, it hasn't.
We've moved from the path where, but we've been able to evolve from the path where we depend largely on there's some of the talks to go and steal ballot boxes, to cancel election results. Right now we've moved to IREV and Beavers, and we've moved past that level right now. Now people say we've now gotten to that point where the courts now begin to decide who wins and who lost the election. No longer the citizens that went out to cast their vote.
And don't forget to include traditional rulers actually going to court now, individuals in whom we look up to that actually give, decisions when it comes to rule of law. Now they have to go to court. A lot of things that are happening. Please continue.
All right. So for me, my own democratical experience, it's quite dicey because I think for one that we've not yet gotten it right in terms of but then we're still evolving. Who am I to say that growth is not possible? There is one thing, it is a legal maxim that we use in law that says tempora mutante ethnos mutenos in illis. Tempora mutante ethnos mutenos in illis. That is, time change and we change with time. Of course, we will definitely evolve, and I believe so much that in the coming years, Nigerian democracy will get better. I'm 100% optimistic about Nigerian and a democratic process.
Like I have always said, I am a very positive person when it comes to Nigeria.
Probably I'm learning from you right now.
Really, I'm sure, because once you're positive, everything just goes. The thing is, I think it's still a work in progress. I think we still have a lot to know, a lot to learn when it comes to this sort of mode in which we're in. Like you mentioned, 26 years, if comparing it to a female or a male, they must have attained a lot of height at about now. But there's still a struggle. Remember that life is not just smooth sail. It's not a bed of roses. There are ups and there are downs. And that is where we are now. We're trying to topsy-turvy around it. But with time, I believe it's going to get better. I see a lot of positivity when it comes to some decisions made in Nigeria. And with time, let's just be patient and know that people will say, Jumai, patience for how long?
Before we even go to the newspaper review segment, there is one controversial conversation right now that is even making the round. Hope we'll see that even on the trends right now, even this morning. And that conversation is, what is the right age for one to get married, even in Nigeria? Should it be at the age of 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40? Well, but I was trying to even do research. I know because of my faith in God, I am as a believer, which I am, I've been able to discover a scripture that talks about the right age to get married.
Like for me, really,
there is an actual right age. And it's backed by the Constitution.
But the truth is, I know. The thing is, you can say 18 but the truth is...
Proverbs 18:22.
Wait a minute. But the truth is, I feel once you're mature and you've scaled that age preference that you can actually birth a child, they say age is nothing but a number. You'll be surprised that even 18-year-old or 17-year-old or let's say 18, 19, 20-year-old knows how to take care of the home front. I feel age is nothing. If you're mature enough and you feel you can, I think when you are ready and you're sure you are ready and you can balance it all, you'll be surprised that someone who is 40 can't even handle the home front much more than a 20-year-old.
Well, this school of thought, when it comes to this concern of home front marriages, if you give it to Juma, we won't leave here today because this is our specialty when it comes to counseling people on how to live right, how to do your thing and be able to excel in your profession. You can consult Juma. Let's not even start off with that.
Age is nothing but
let's go for this short break so you can come back and take the newspaper review for today. Please stay with us. After this break, we will take you straight to the various dailies making the rounds for this morning.
Don't go anywhere. All right, you're welcome back. And if you're just tuning in, this is Global Morning on Global Television. And if you're just tuning in, what took you so long? We've had a lot of conversations here, Godwin and I, always arguing, but we actually disagree at a long run to agree.
Argue for the right reasons.
And of course, this is the newspaper review segment, and we'll be starting with the Punch newspaper, giving us some very punchy headlines here. And beside the nameplate of the Punch, it says, Democracy Day Fireworks, Tinubu Opposition Trade Blows. And that read is on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. And below all of that, we have protesters, APC supporters hold para rallies in Lagos, Abuja. And you can find that read on page 10 to find out what that is all about. And of course, the star story there says, Knox kudos as Tinubu honors June 12 heroes. And the writer there says, Soyinka, 58 others honored, Sarowiwa, Ogoni, 8 pardoned. And it says, crisis flare, President for Umar, Odumakun, others omissions. And basically, that is all on the Punch newspaper. And go out and get yourself a copy and be well abreast on issues making round. Of course, there's a very interesting read there. Just go out and get yourself the Punch newspaper. And next is the New Telegraph. And my co-host with the glasses will be running us through it.
Well, I did see that comment, Jumai. But since you mentioned your co-host with the glasses, of course, there's no other person other than me with the glass. So let me just take that straight. Let me take us straight to the New Telegraph this morning, where we have it comes with a kicker. PMS, sustained local refining capacity shrinks importation by 61%. You can find that read there here just after the Senate President, DHQ. Troops kill here just after the Senate President, DHQ. Troops kill terrorist kingpins, orders in Zamfara operations. You can find that read on page 29. It comes also with a rider. Benue killings, police confirm arrest of 42 bandits, local militants. Anambra, 50 million signage free undemocratic extortionist. This is coming from Mogalu. Of course, you can find that read on page 7. NNPCL Limited, that's NNPC Limited, posts 5.89 trillion revenue. I'll take that again, sorry. NNPC Limited posts 5.89 trillion naira revenue for April 2025. You can find that read on page 8 of the New Telegram. Of course, let's get to the star story here, where we have one party state not good for Nigeria. Seeing opposition in disarray pleasurable. Tinubu. Now, this is coming from President Bola Tinubu, and of course, it is confined of this read on page 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 27, and 28 of the New Telegraph. What is the president talking about in this regard, where you can go out there and get yourself a copy and also read up to stay abreast? Good governance, cornerstone of democracy. This is coming from Christian Association of Nigeria, and it comes with 3 riders. Of course, for time constraint, you can go out and get yourself a copy to know what the CAN means by good governance as a cornerstone of democracy. Presidency apologized for including Fasharati Madunago on posthumous national award. I don't know who made that error, but then the presidency as at yesterday night came out to apologize, and we saw that coming from the presidency yesterday night. So let's TIAI. Too much political interference making anti-graft war difficult. Who is saying this? Well, you can find out from the New Telegraph. British passenger survives Air Indian crash that claimed over 241 lives. You can find out read on page 2 of the Telegraph newspaper. DOG exposure might lower eczema risk in children. That's on the foot of the New Telegraph newspaper this morning. You can go out there and get yourself a copy of the New Telegraph this morning to stay abreast with the current happenings around the country. Well, up next is The Sun. It's a bright day and it's a sunny day. Let's even know what The Sun newspaper is saying this morning. Jumai.
Now, before we go into The Sun newspaper, let's just focus on the New Telegraph a bit. Just very briefly now, this is a very major concern. A fortunate incident that happened. British passengers survives Air India crash that claimed over 241 lives. That happened yesterday. Takeoff from India to London. A very unfortunate incident there, and of course, condolences to the family of that particular incident that happened. And now over to the Daily Sun, giving us some very sunny headlines. And beside the nameplate, it says President honors Soyinka. I've said that already. It's on basically all the newspapers. Uwosu, Yaradua, other heroes of democracy. And it says Kokori, Indubisi, Kanu, Ebute, Ononuga also. And of course, that read is on page 27 of the Sun newspaper. And Labour set for fresh battle over minimum wage, consequential adjustments meets FG. And you can find that read on page 28 of the Sun newspaper. And the star story there says Tinubu, Atiku, Obi, PDP clash on Democracy Day. President mocks opposition for inability to fix crisis in parties. And basically that is it's on the Daily Sun. You can go out and grab yourself a copy to know what this is all about, saying President mocks opposition for inability to fix crisis in parties. Go out and get yourself a copy and be well abreast on issues making round. And quickly to the Vanguard newspaper.
All right, the Vanguard is just straightforward this morning, where we have just above the nameplate here we have I don't view one party state as good for democracy, and this is coming from President Tinubu. Just beside that story, which you can find on page 5, by the way, we have Tinubu celebrates Vanguard publisher Sam Amuka at 90, confirms him over 60 orders with national honors. Well, that's quite interesting. Congratulations to Mr. Sam there. IBB apologized to us for annulling June 12th. This is coming from Abiola's son. You can find that apology on page 10. Of course, IBB's book is everywhere right now. Then that's just the size of what we have on the papers there. In the Vanguard newspaper, of course, we have a very big picture of President Bola Tinubu will be commissioning the project in Apo and Wase and Road today. And of course, all national dailies have captured that particular paper. Let's even take the Nation newspaper right now, Jumai.
All right, now the Nation newspaper, and it's above the nameplate. It says honors of heroes, and of course we've had that read on various papers this morning, honoring individuals who actually fought for the cause of democracy, and that's what we're enjoying now. And you can see 26 years of uninterrupted democracy, though not perfect yet, but at least we're still in the right path, right?
Yeah, we are.
And then here it says Postmoses Award for Kudirat Yaradua Saruwiwa, Shoyinka Ubasani, Akinyemi, Dari, others get national recognition for pro-democracy actions. Tinubu affirms commitment to multi-party politics. And for one reason, I like the fact that for every Democracy Day, there's always something good to give honors to those who fought for the cause.
Yeah.
It's very important that we understand this now. That is why we have civilian rule at this point. And I have free, I don't want to compare though, but during the military regime, you cannot get away with a lot of things that we're getting away with now. So there's this subtle way of handling the rule of law when it comes to democratic processes. So hopefully we get it right. We're in the right path though, but hopefully we get it right, that next year, Democracy Day, by the grace of God, a lot of people will be happy we're celebrating democracy. Because really, when I was driving out of my house yesterday, when I got to the express, it was as if nothing was happening. There were just people going about their businesses, like there's nothing important, it's not serious, there's nothing, there's nothing to be joyful about. I understand that the economy is taking a toll on everyone else, but I think we should be grateful for 26 years. A lot of people are not privileged to see this yesterday, June 12th. Let's just be hopeful and know that hopefully by the grace of God, next year we'll have a reason to smile and everyone will come out and be joyous and be thankful that, okay, was going to be celebrating 27 years, 28 more years, and we're hopeful because there's the economy is stable. The removal of fuel subsidy we have something to write home about it concerning that. Job employment, the low electricity tariff. I can go to the market for individuals that do not understand numbers. Like I always mention, we might say we've achieved this and we call out all these numbers, and most individuals do not understand. They tell you, are you kidding me? When I go to the market, I can buy something less. Then I understand what you're talking about. So when people can go to the market, buy something less and be grateful, come out and have. Because if you hear the reports, a lot of people, especially in Imo, the woman says, we've not gotten to that part yet. There's nothing like that. It's very sad to hear that. Hopefully we'll get it right and hopefully everything is going to be fine. Let's quickly do a rundown on the paper.
I wish we could even get to other papers, Juma, this morning, but we've been saying that right now. That's time for us to even run to the straight to the food table.
Yes.
You sound like I love.
That's
food.
why you had to interrupt.
Well, you know that part of the show where we talk about food.
Yes.
You talk about taste. You talk about
texture.
Oh God, I like that. That's the most interesting part of the show for me, where we talk about food.
Really?
I don't like food. Food likes me. Juma, you can't fault me on this.
No, I cannot. And that is why we're going on the taste and texture segment. Let's see what Sharon Ajay has for us this beautiful.
Sharon, take us there. Take us, Sharon.
Up next is taste and texture. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome to Taste and Texture. I am Sharon Ajay. Today we will be learning how to make Bambara pudding, also known as Okpa. Bambara pudding, commonly called Okpa, is a traditional Nigerian dish, particularly popular in the eastern Nigeria, made from Bambara nut, also known as groundnut or cowpeas. It's a type of Nigerian delicacy that is considered a staple food. Okpa is rich in protein, fiber, and minerals, making it a nutritious option. It is most common in Enugu State and Niger State and is classified as a traditional Nigerian delicacy. But, of course, Okpa is enjoyed by other ethnic groups. Okpa is so good that many people have tried severally but fail to replicate the unique taste in their various homes. But the secret to making the best Okpa is to use just as few ingredients as possible because Bambara nuts have a natural, delicious flavor. The flavor is ruined when people start adding a lot and lot of seasonings to the meal. Well, let's get right into the key ingredients needed. We will be needing okpa flour, palm oil, water, salt, pepper, and uziza. Come along, let's try our hands on it. Put your okpa flour into a big enough bowl. Add the palm oil. Mix the palm oil and flour very well till the palm oil is well incorporated into the flour. You will notice that you'd see a nice even yellow color when done. Proceed to add lukewarm water, not too hot, not too cold. Add it into the okpa flour and mix till there is no lumps. Keep adding little quantities and mix well until you get your desired consistency. You can also use a blender to get the smoothest mix. Then add your pepper and salt and mix very well. Next, you soak your uziza seeds and then proceed to crush it with your mini mortar. Then add the already crushed seed into the water you used in soaking the seed. Sieve it and pour the water into your okpa mix. You can check for salt and pepper and add more if necessary, and it's ready to be scooped into the wrappers. Next, get your pots and add some leaf wrappers or plastic bags before moving on to the next step. These wrappers and plastic bags act as a base for the okpa wraps. Set your tins ready or your nylon wrap and begin scooping your okpa mix into them and arrange them into your pots. Next, you should already have a boiling water in the pots. If not, wait for it to boil and then pour it into the pot. Proceed to put the pot on fire.
Cover the pot and start cooking at medium to high heat. Cook your okpa for at least 1 hour before checking it, and check it at a minimum of 3 to 3 minutes. Your okpa should be ready when it's all solid all over. Well, that's it for okpa. Enjoy your meal.
And that's it on Taste and Texture. I am Sharon Ajay. Global Morning continues shortly.
Alright, you're welcome back from that amazing, delicious Bambara pudding, of course, by Sharon Ajay there. But I was telling Godwin behind the scenes, I said, if I'm going to make that, I love being innovative when it comes to food. And the thing is, I will add a little bit of beef, maybe chopped beef. Then, of course, people add vegetables just to spice it up a bit. I think it will give a different taste and texture in the mouth.
Well, whatever that means, bring it on. Of course, there is taste and there is texture. Well, Juma is more particular about the texture, and Godwin is more particular about the taste. So not I'm a foodie. I don't like food. Food likes me. Who am I to say no in such a scenario?
But of course, the Bambara pudding, which is popularly known as okpa, it's in the whole part of Nigeria, very delicious, very tasty. You should try it out. And of course, homemade, they say, is best taste. And I about this.
Before you even talk about going to the next one, I'm still not happy, Jumai.
Why?
I'm not happy. Each time we get to this taste and culture, we all salivate in the studio, and we don't get to even feel the pulse of, we even feel the taste and the texture of this okpa and the Bambara nut. Please, Sharon, let's not get personal even in the studio. Please, you try as much as you can to ensure that you bring our own share of the okpa. You can't be making okpa and we are not even feeling it here in the studio. That's even so that we can tell Nigerians and tell the whole world how okpa tastes. But
I will tell you.
No, you don't. Juma, don't tell me how okpa tastes. Let me be the judge.
Okay.
I cannot let you know. I love the taste of the okpa. Let me even pick Sharon, please, so that we won't be having personal issues.
Okay, don't worry. Sharon will actually give us something to taste behind the scene.
Behind the scene. I like in front of the camera and behind the camera. But let's just assume that we'll take. I will meet Sharon after behind the camera. Let's see what we can. Because that's very important to me right now.
But I love this point. Up next is social buzz. Let's hear what the social media is talking about.
Chiku no.
Stay tuned.
Take us there.
Good morning, the Global Morning crew, and good morning to you viewers. I am Ogochukwu Mobno. So what's buzzing today on social media? I'm sure you must have been seeing Adams Oshiomhole, and also you must have seen Airpeace everywhere on social media. So today, the management of Airpeace has criticized the allegedly disruptive behavior exhibited by Adams Oshiomhole, a Nigerian senator, which hindered flight operation at Terminal 1 of Murtala Mohammed International Airport on Wednesday. A statement issued by the airline's management concerning the incident said Mr. Oshiomhole arrived at the Terminal 1 axis Zulu Hall of the airport about 20 minutes late for the departure of the aircraft and was eventually prevented from boarding. Airpeace strongly condemns this unruly conduct of a prominent Nigerian politician who disrupted airport operations at the morning of Wednesday, 11 June 2025. The statement said the prominent individual in question arrived at the Murtala Mohammed Airport Terminal 1 Zulu Hall at approximately 6:10 a.m. for flight P47120 scheduled to depart Lagos for Abuja at 6:30 a.m. And in line with our standard on-time departure policy, the boarding process had closed and the flight departed as scheduled. Upon being informed of the missed flight, Airpeace said Mr. Oshomole resorted to violence, physically assaulting his staff and forcefully barricading the terminal entrance. Well, Mr. Oshomole has come out to debunk this statement made by Airpeace boss Onyema. So let's take a look at the short video.
Then the manager came out, Your Excellency, sir, how are you? I said, I'm not fine. Okay, don't worry, I will sort you out. Because I said, no. Anything you want to do it for everyone. Because how will you sort me out? Even those I met there, who came before me, you are asking them to pay more money. Even for the next flight, they told me they have another flight for 8:30. So, if I want to be typical person, Nigeria big man, my face alone is identity. They said, I said, don't sort me out. Don't extend any courtesy to me. Don't extend any privilege to me. Just enforce my right. And if enforcing right means I'm causing trouble, I will want to cause trouble forever.
The lawmaker representing Edo North, Senator Adams Oshomole, explained that he arrived on time, had checked in online and was denied boarding, while the airline sold tickets on the spot at inflated prices, disadvantaging passengers who booked earlier at lower rates. Oshomole highlighted cases where passengers, including a woman with a baby, were refused boarding despite the plane still being on the ground, while others bought tickets at much higher prices. He refused preferential treatment, insisting that his rights and those of ordinary Nigerians be respected equally, and intervened only when stranded passengers began to protest.
They informed him at 5 a.m. that the check-in will close at 45 minutes before departure, no longer 30 minutes. So I asked the regulator, NACA.
Alright, well, we've seen that video. Right now, Airpeace is saying one other thing, and then Senator Adams Oshomole is saying another. In a statement by the management of Airpeace Limited, they have also debunked Oshomole's allegation of extortion, and the statement reads, "Our attention has been drawn to the deliberate falsehood being peddled by Senator Adams Oshomole against Airpeace. The senator lied blatantly when he accused Airpeace of extorting its passengers. We challenge Senator Oshomole to bring one evidence of a passenger that was extorted. None of our staff ever extorted any passenger. In fact, no ticket was sold after the closure of check-in on that flight. Everyone who flew brought their ticket prior to the flight closure. Again, our flight was never overbooked as some of his videos alleged. In fact, the aircraft took off with over 30 empty seats. It would have been in our interest to carry Oshomole and those others who missed their flights for lateness on this flight instead of flying many empty seats, but we will never sacrifice our strict on-time performance for monetary gains. It is absolutely false that he was offered preferential treatment and that he was fighting for others. Senator Oshomole was never fighting for anyone. He came to the airport late and was told that he was late. He then began to foment trouble. He jumped on the baggage conveyor belt, preventing the check-in process of other flights. He also barricaded the entrance gate and prevented access to the terminal. While he was doing all this, he also deliberately instigated other passengers against the airline. We call on the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria FAN to release the CCTV coverage starting from the time Senator Oshomole entered the airport for Nigerians to see. His accusation of extortion is very defamatory. His conduct was very violent, unbecoming, unfortunate, all above, and above all shameful. Wow. This is really, I don't know where to classify it, because we have seen the side of Oshomole and we have also seen the side of Airpeace. Then what are we to believe? Who are we to believe at this time? We'll be taking reactions from social media, and we'll be taking just one reaction. And this one is coming from JB. JB says, Airpeace has the most terrible customer service in Nigeria. They have been tweeting to curry for sympathy for the public, but everyone is tweeting against them despite sharing a seemingly superior argument in their trending altercation against Oshomole. There's no traveling Nigerian that hasn't been affected by the notorious services. Aviation Minister needs to intervene and adopt and implement regulations to penalize airlines for unexplained delays of reschedulings, it has gone out of hand. Well, that's coming from JB. JB said it has gone out of hand. But then he said something striking. He said, everyone on social media is complaining. How are you sure, JB? You've not gone to everyone's page. There are people who also think that, okay, Senator Adams' social media was really not in place with all of that. But then, because we are, running out of time, I'll be leaving you in the hands of the social media, the Global Morning crew. Once again, I am Ogochukwu Mobno, and please do not forget to drop your thoughts on every conversation we'll be having here. See you again as I leave you with the social media, with the Global Morning crew, and Global Morning continues.
Welcome back from that segment, Social Buzz. Hope you were well abreast with the issues making round with Airpeace, and of course the former governor of Edo State, the other President Adams Oshiomhole. And people have a lot to say when it comes to Airpeace. I'm not their spokesperson, but it has been topsy-turvy. But for me, friendly service, not bad at all. But some others might have something, might have something else to say, like my co-host always has something to say.
Jumani, that's this morning. I didn't see it coming.
I didn't say anything.
Perhaps I didn't prepare adequately for the show. Perhaps let's use it. Perhaps because I didn't see that coming. All the accolades given to Airpeace so far, how did it end up in my table that your colleague will have something to say?
But you said a lot behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes, I wouldn't going for looking at it critically from. Okay, since you want me to talk about the issues, let's even look at Airpeace generally. The service for me, Airpeace going from leaving Abuja to Lagos, it's perfect, smooth. I've never had it that smooth with any.
Funny enough, I didn't have it smooth with them either because my flight was delayed.
So different folks for different strokes for different folks.
True.
So for me, all the while I've used Airpeace to travel from Abuja to Lagos, that's been smooth for me. It tells you 6:30 and they leave exactly that. They leave at exactly 6:30.
No, mine was delayed to 8.
I've never had that delayed flight in Abuja before, leaving Abuja to Lagos. But then it's almost a recurring phenomenon, and a common decimal factor. When I leave Lagos to Abuja with Airpeace, the delay is usually very interesting. Sometimes, there was one of those occasions where I left Lagos to Abuja, the flight was delayed until we were supposed to leave by I think 6 or 8. The flight was delayed till about past 12. When I got to Abuja, and I was heading back. I was heading from Abuja to Kaduna, so I had to call somebody to quickly book a train for me because there was no way I could get to Kaduna. I had to book a train. As soon as I got to the airport, pick a taxi, was rushing down to Kubwa train station, pick a train from Kubwa, was heading to Kaduna. One place they call Gasa something, Gosarabi, Gasa something in Kaduna. I know I'm not talking about that's your
really?
Well.
Really?
That's your state of domicile,
Really? Okay.
Juma knows the nook and crannies of Kaduna.
No, I don't.
If you need the map of Kaduna, you can ask Juma. There's no where Juma does not know in Kaduna. We should even be campaigning that Juma should become the deputy governor of Kaduna State.
But the thing is, of course, my problem with Airpeace, I'm sure individuals have had that problem. For me, I love the airline, amazing. I'm not campaigning for them, like I said. But of course, there has been some topsy-turvy when it comes to. My problem is sending messages late when you know you're going to delay.
Yes.
I didn't get.
And they apologize thereafter.
Yes, they did. And you don't get that message to like 2 a.m., 1 a.m. and when you're already sleeping, and then you see yourself hurrying to go to the airport, and the next thing you find out that there is a delay, which is not nice. I think they should work better on that service.
But Juma, what we were talking about Airpeace, let's even talk about the drama that Ogochukwu has even highlighted about the former governor of Edo State
exactly.
and that of Airpeace. Looking at what played out, Senator Oshiomhole, I would need to invite Oshiomhole one of these days to come give us his own perspective of what really happened, even in the show. But we'll go go for this break, and when we come back, we will continue with the conversation.
All right, you're welcome back from that very short break, and of course, it's still Global Morning on Global Television. We're done with the social buzz segment, and now let's go over to some stories on the international waters. Over to Uyagbomofwegbe as it brings us international news. Stay tuned.
South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa says he will visit the area of the country that has been hit by what he called unprecedented flooding. Rescue teams in South Africa raced to reach survivors after heavy rains flooded part of an eastern province, with 49 people already confirmed dead and fears of the toll rising. In East Africa, Kenya's new finance bill, already scheduled to be debated in Parliament on June 12, is at pains to avoid controversy by redirecting taxes that might spark fresh unrest. Director at Control Risks, a global risk strategic consulting firm based in London, picks holes in the bill and highlights setbacks.
So this year's finance bill is, in comparison to last year's, very much seeking to avoid controversy. So last year's finance bill had a raft of VAT increases across some very essential commodities, and also a few other things such as a vehicle tax and additional contributions, which were going to really hurt ordinary citizens because it would have increased the cost of nearly everything in the economy.
The East African nation is an economic bright spot in a troubled region, but still faces huge challenges and is coming off a difficult year. Away from Africa, Ukraine Foreign Minister Andrius Sybiga says his country wants to end war with Russia already this year, reiterating the call to step up pressure on Russia. Sybiga noted that diplomacy of appeasement does not work with Russia, recommending that the time has come for diplomacy of pressure. In a different development, an Indian Foreign Ministry spokesman says the country has extended its deepest condolences after a London-bound passenger plane crashed in a residential area of the western city of Ahmedabad.
What has happened in Ahmedabad is a very tragic accident. We have lost a lot of people. We extend our deepest condolences to all those who have lost their loved ones. There are, I understand, several foreigners also. Those updates you will receive from the relevant departments, Ministry of Civil Aviation, Air India and others. They are putting out something, I guess, soon.
The incident occurred on Thursday. All 242 people on board were believed killed, with the jets smashing into buildings housing doctors and their families. Away from that sad incident, dozens of mayors from across the Los Angeles region have banded together to demand that Trump administration stop the stepped-up immigration raids that have spread fears across the cities and sparked protests across the United States. Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass said things escalated once Trump-ordered raid began as the weekend was setting in.
A week ago, everything was peaceful in the city of Los Angeles and in all of the representatives behind me in their cities as well. Things began to be difficult on Friday when raids took place, and it's important that I begin there because that is the cause of the problems that have happened in the city of Los Angeles and other cities.
U.S. President Donald Trump said Los Angeles was safe and sound for the past 2 nights, crediting his deployment of thousands of troops to quell anti-deportation protests as California prepared for a legal showdown over his unprecedented move.
I'm Uyi Agmofwegbe. The rest of Global Morning now continues.
Right now, you are welcome back from that particular segment that has to do with the international news. Of course, you can follow on our international news on Global Television on any of our news bulletin. Now, talking about that now, moving forward, let's quickly talk about, nobody's making so much buzz about the plane crash that happened yesterday. A very unfortunate incident there. Very, very unfortunate. A lot of people, 242 individuals died in that plane crash. And it's just unfortunate. I saw a picture of an Indian, the wife and children. Very, very sad. Just at takeoff. Do you think we need to do a lot when it comes to maintenance, both international and national aircraft? We need to check and be sure before takeoff. Someone yesterday was talking about why is it that with all the technology that evolves on the daily, we've not found a solution to actually curb aircraft incidents that happens, that it's so much that the impact is so much that it claims a lot of lives. We've not found a way out of it. There's no sort of innovation that can, a very fast, when you know that something is going to happen, something that you can just do quickly for you to save yourself or something. What do you think, Godwin? It's just unfortunate that once an incident happens, it claims basically all the lives. There are hardly it's a very minimal when it comes to survivorship on an aircraft. Do you think that we have a long way to go when it comes to technology? We've not found or wrapped our hands around finding a particular means of saving lives when it comes to aircraft issues.
Well, Jumai, it's a sad conversation.
Very
as much as you
sad.
mentioned the Indian crash yesterday, though they said that one body has been recovered and the cause of the accident is still being investigated by the international community and aviation community in general. But one begin to look at all of these conversations around these accidents. There's one that struck me, and that's the family where this young man has gone out to, for 5 years, he has been working in, I think in UK or one of those countries. I read that up yesterday. And he has been working just to come pick his family and return and take them to where he is based so that they can give them a good life. And when they were at the airport, they snapped pictures. He was taking shots with his children and even posting it on social media. He was excited to give them the good life that they desire, but they never had that good life. They died in that crash. Now, it's a sad one. The world, my heart goes out to as many families, even in India, that have lost their lives and lost some people even in that crash. But then I feel that some of these things are avoidable incidents. Before a plane takes off, one should believe that all the contingency checks, all preparation for that flight to take off, the checking of the engine to ensure that it's safe, guaranteed at 100%. Even if it's not 100%, at least if we get 99%, we're sure that we can still fly. But I understand that when it has to do with aviation, it is 100% or nothing less.
True.
Because this is you're flying above sea levels. But then when we look at all of what's going on in India right now, although some people have tied it up to a metaphysical angle that probably the way people tied some of these things up, but then I don't think it is right. You understand? That is a sad thing to want to tie a lot of superstitious beliefs to. It's sad. Whatever way it is, we should look at the mechanical faults. Talk about the old incidents that led to this crash. And if we have incident of this magnitude, my question to the aviation community is, why are heads not rolling? I'm not that we're calling for heads to actually roll, but then literally, why are people not being sanctioned? The engineers that are supposed to service the airline before it takes off, the people that are supposed to be saddled with the responsibility of ensuring that these airlines are okay, are fit and ready to take off. Now, we've seen incidents that happened even in 2005, 2006 in Nigeria, and the Sosoliso and the rest of them that happened. We saw the lives that they claimed in Nigeria. But we didn't get to even hear that some engineers that were responsible for that particular act were sanctioned. Or they were even, let's even tie it up to negligence. But then negligence comes with the penalty where you know that you're rendering essential services. Now, the people that render essential services, the word is you must be cautious of the fact that whatever mistake you make, people's lives are at stake. If a doctor makes a mistake, people's lives are at stake. If an engineer makes a mistake, people's lives are at stake. If a journalist like myself here makes a mistake, I understand that people's lives also are at stake, because I can say a word that can incite the public.
Very true.
But I can misrepresent the truth. So that's why most times when you understand that you're providing essential service, you need to be cautious of what you say and how you carry out your daily activities. Now, we are at this point. I'm saying at this point that it's not enough that investigation, the brain box should be brought to find out the cause of this whole crash. Then we begin to look for a way to better off and make it better. But then we should talk about, the aviation community should start talking about sanctions and how to penalize and withdraw people's licenses. Probably this will serve as a deterrent to ensure that there is more sanity in people carrying out their job, their duties effectively and efficiently without even cutting corners. Because this is, if people say India is not that of an underdeveloped and developed countries. This is a country where they are proud of the fact that they are championing the cause of IT innovations in the world. So if we talk about countries like India having a crash of this magnitude where only one passenger survived, it is a sad one even to the aviation community.
It's a very sad one, really. You know, when I saw that news yesterday, my heart goes out to all the individuals who have lost loved ones on that flight. It's very sad. And that's why I still say, with all the innovations that we have, we've not found a way around crashes when it comes to, when it comes to air transportation. We've not found a way around it. A colleague was saying that Limox is trying to find a way around it and all of that, but it's pending for so long with all the innovations when it comes to AI, when it comes to robots, when it comes to all of that, and yet we've not gotten an answer when it comes to plane crashes or how you survival mode, which is very important. And you mentioned something very vital: negligence. We're not saying that it's negligence that caused this, but we're yet to find out the cause of it. But at the same time, individuals should learn to take their job seriously, especially when you know that it has to do with lives. Every life matter. We might say that, out of it, we might not sound grateful that one person survived, but at least one person survived. But it's a lot. 240 something plus is a lot. And if one person does his or her job well, I think there'll be a smooth transition when it comes to operational mode. So it's very important that we take this very seriously, especially the engineers. And from reports, it was gathered that the captain of the flight immediately called out and started. He said, "Mayday, Mayday, Mayday," as in before they took off. It's not like it happened mid-air or above air, but immediately after takeoff. So you know that something actually went wrong. And you know the most unfortunate thing is that he landed in a hospital, claiming more lives, because it was a residential area where that happened. It's just unfortunate. It's just a very unfortunate incident there. And for that family, the man that has worked for 5 years, not been able to be with his family, and then going forward and now taking them for a better life, and then this happens. Well, it's very, very sad. All right, now let's quickly go on a very quick break, and we'll talk more on democracy and listen to some reports on democracy. Do not go anywhere. The program continues shortly.
All right, welcome back. Well, all through yesterday, it was quite mixed feelings we had even across Nigeria. So Jumai said that when she drove out of her house, she was thinking that she would meet a lot of people on the street, but people celebrating democracy, but it was business as usual, even in our community. Well, it's not far-fetched from my own community also, because we also had that same fair share of people going about their normal duties and this humor and for democratic celebration across.
Let me interject. In your mind, when you drove out yesterday, when you were coming out yesterday from your house, what was the projection in your head? What were you expecting to see?
But for me, I thought that as soon as I get to the Eagle Square, I'll see a whole lot of green, white, green. Jubilation, people are excited. That's that green, white, green on your face, on your clothes, and people wearing white clothes and marching on the street, and you get to meet military parades on the all of that. That's the excitement. You don't really just march. You march left to right, left to right. Well, I did unapologetically. I was proud Nigerian, but it's quite interesting. When we looked at the street yesterday, it was quite not what it used to be. And I was asking my guest yesterday, even on one of our sister show, that is it that the Democracy Day is particularly attached to the presidency? Because I understand that we have 3 tiers of government.
Yes, we do.
The local governments are silent about Democracy Day. To a very large extent, the governors across the federation are silent about Democracy Day, apart from Governor Uba Sani, who was literally on all media houses yesterday talking about Democracy Day. And of course, he has always been an activist, so he was speaking authoritatively about Democracy Day. But then other governors tend to be mute on Democracy Day. But that's aside. President Bola Tinubu now took the bull by the horn yesterday by giving us quite a number of lists of people that deserve the national honor. Yesterday, it was an interesting time at the National Assembly.
Yes, it was.
We watched the president speak. Of course, there was also a mixed feeling what the president said when he said he's not subscribing to a one-party state for Nigeria. But then, when people say they want to move to the All Progressive Congress, who is he to even stop them from moving? And it was a bit hilarious for some of us in the National Assembly at that yesterday. But then, let's even take a report right now on the president's speech even yesterday celebrating Democracy Day, and let's get a few from our correspondent what the president said. Then from there we'll take it down to Sokoto and other states to see how the celebration went yesterday. Over to you, MCR.
At this point, I plead for your indulgence so that I may put a terrible rumor to bed. To those who ring the alarm that the APC is intent on a one-party state, I offer you a most personal promise. While your alarm may be as a result of your panic, it rings an error. At no time in the past, nor any instance in the present, and at no future junction, shall I view the notion of one-party state as good for Nigeria.
The president emphasized youth empowerment, digital infrastructure, and industrial growth as key priorities, and praised the National Assembly and Armed Forces for their continued support, while calling on all Nigerians to uphold the core values of June 12, freedom, equity, and accountability as the country charts a course towards progress.
Our administration is fully committed to boosting the economy and productive base through investment in critical infrastructure, roads, expansion of port operations, rail, and power. We are creating a new environment in which industry and manufacturing can thrive.
The President of the Senate, in his remarks, framed the event as a symbol of national unity, institutional synergies, and constitutional development, while affirming executive and legislative collaboration.
President of the Senate, I reaffirm the unwavering commitment of the 10th National Assembly to the cause of the Nigerian people. We must continue to champion every policy that uplifts the poor, empowers our youth, strengthens our economy, and defends the dignity of every citizen
of this nation.
Emphasizing inclusive democracy, the Speaker of the House of Reps, Tajuddin Abbas, says the National Assembly has served as the guardian of our democratic institutions, while spotlighting active citizen engagement and a robust legislative agenda aligned with economic, constitutional, and participatory reforms.
Our determination is unequivocal to expedite and finalize the constitutional amendment process by December 2025. Some of our priorities include special reserved seats for women, formal constitutional roles for traditional rulers, and legal backing for a 35% affirmative action gender policy.
As Nigeria celebrates 26 years of democracy, President Tinubu's commitment to democratic governance and development is a promising step forward. For Global Television, Queen Agaba reporting.
Well, interesting conversation and interesting time to talk about democracy even in Nigeria. Well, Jumai, you can't just help but admire Mr. President and the way he's very eloquent in presenting all of this conversation. It takes it, you know, you can't, there's one thing about President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. It's easy, it's not predictable.
No, it's not.
You can't easily say that the president is going to say this when it comes out. You just expect the president to come and the president will just start laughing. We'll just give you like 5 minutes conversation.
And says it how it is.
That's one thing about President Bola Tinubu, and we can't take that away from him.
No,
he has always been there's a very eloquent, a very free-minded person, but then very disciplined when it has to do with implementation of policies. He ensures that he sees it through. He's one governor when I was in Lagos then when he was the governor of Lagos State. And we know how many commissioners he had to lay off. Even he was having issue at one point in time with Femi Pedro, who was the former deputy governor of Lagos State. President Bola Tinubu will ensure that you must deliver your job. You must deliver on whatever is assigned to you. Little wonders why some of his colleagues that worked with him as politician then, they are doing magnificently well.
Yes.
Speaking about the likes of Yemi Osibanjo, the former vice president of Nigeria, and the rest of them. And they're talking about the likes of Aregbesola, talking about the likes of Fashola, talking about the likes of a lot of them are doing magnificently well.
Yes,
You can't take that away from
No, you cannot.
the excellence at which President Bola Ahmed Tinubu ensures that you deliver. It's top notch for me.
Yeah, very importantly, and let's not forget that for him, professionalism is key. You must be professional and be able to deliver. Very important, because you shouldn't just have figureheads there. At the same time, you must be able to deliver on the assignment in which you were given. It's very important. But at the same time, let's just hope the best for the best. And I like the part he says that he cannot stop individuals who want to come over to his party, but for one party system, he's not part and parcel of it. But at the same time, if individuals want to come to the APC, well, come on board.
That's a two-edged sword, by the way, from the president.
Yes, it is.
But then let's even see what Sokoto has for us this morning and what Sokoto is saying, even on Democracy Day. Over to you, Sokoto. Let's even hear what's going on and what the residents of Sokoto have in stock for us this morning.
Stay tuned.
Since 1999, Nigeria has conducted multiple general elections, bringing leadership changes and governance reforms. However, electoral transparency and credibility remain key concerns. Are Nigerians truly experiencing the benefit of democracy?
One of the noticeable challenges is in the education sector. We all attend public schools, but today, quality education often feels out of reach unless a child is enrolled in a private institution. Public schools once provide a strong foundation, but now not every child in these schools can truly benefit from their education.
Have issues like the increasing rate of corruption, godfatherism is on the rise. We also have the issue of banditry and also terrorism in the northeast.
So going to the health sector, of course, we are still talking about the primary health care. It's a very, very important aspect of the health system in the country. This is where the preventive and promotive part of the healthcare are being delivered, and this plays a very great role in the health of the entire country and the nation in general.
In some countries, especially other African countries, you can see that they cannot conduct elections regularly, and then also there is military intervention.
However, Bashir Abubakar Sarkin Hausa of the APC believes there is a cause for celebration of uninterrupted democracy in Nigeria.
Regime after regime, government after government, there are a lot of progress. This is to tell you, we chooses democracy the military route, because in democracy you can voice out your needs, and the government must listen to you.
Despite the progress highlighted, Naomi Kambenda, a concerned citizen in Sokoto, emphasized that patriotic leadership is crucial for democracy to flourish in the country.
So the thing is, we need to sort out patriotic Nigerians, those who really care about Nigeria, not those who plan to make their pockets big from whatever they get occupying public offices. I think it's time we look within and let's be honest with ourselves.
Dr. Awal Musa suggests that strengthening institutions such as the Electoral Commission, judiciary, and police will enhance democracy in Nigeria.
We have to strengthen institutions like the INEC. We have to strengthen institutions like
in Nigeria.
We have to strengthen institutions like the INEC. We have to strengthen institutions like the police to let the police know their roles during elections. And then we also need to create awareness to the electorate, the masses, you understand, to know their rights, to know what they need to do during elections.
Despite democratic governance, Nigeria continues to grapple with insecurity, including insurgency, banditry, and ethnic conflicts. Economic development has been rough, while sectors like telecommunications have flourished. Others, such as infrastructure and job creation, lag behind. From Sokoto, Lawal Aliyu, Global TV News.
Right, welcome back. Well, that's Sokoto. We are, of course, feeling the pulse of Sokoto. Let's even travel out of the north region right now. Let's get to the eastern part of Nigeria and see what Imo State, the people of Imo State are saying. Like we call it the Indigo. As saying the Imo, good people of Imo State have quite a lot of experience even on a democratic conversation. Let's join our correspondent, Amarachi, Imo State conversation right now.
I'm sure a lot of people have a lot to say when it comes to. I don't think they were really smiling or patriotic when it comes to issues of democracy. A lot of people have a lot to say when it comes to that. Like I said, different opinions, different strokes for different folks. A lot of people might say, okay, fine, it has been uninterrupted democracy process for 26 years, but at the same time we have these challenges and we have this particular challenge, but everyone should understand that it's not a bed of roses. There are ups and there are downs, topsy-turvy, but at the same time there's always light at the end of the tunnel. I think we should all understand that and know that at the end of the day, let's take a breather and know that everything is going to be fine. Let's quickly go on a very quick break. Global Morning continues shortly. Stay tuned.
Day, now marked on June 12, commemorates the historic 1993 presidential election, widely regarded as Nigeria's freest and fairest, and honors the struggle for democratic governance. While the government celebrates milestone, many residents here says democracy is here to deliver meaningful change in their lives.
Since the 25 years of democracy in this country, there have been no impartation. Life still remains stagnant. People are suffering. You can see how everywhere looks like.
Governance. While the government celebrates milestone, many residents here says democracy is here to deliver meaningful change in their lives.
Since the 25 years of democracy in this country, there have been no impartation. Life still remains stagnant. People are suffering. You can see how everywhere looks like. Insecurity, so many things not to mention.
For some, democracy is a simple word, not a lived reality.
But for 25 years, the trouble we have in Nigeria is that the real people, the masses, are not being carried along. What do I mean? The things that are supposed to get to the masses, the poor people, are not getting to them. The bourgeois, the capitalists, the rich, the mighty, they hang it on the up. The thing doesn't get down. So, and that is the challenge you have. Democracy is democracy if the people who are supposed to benefit are benefiting.
So democracy, they were supposed to be happy, but the way economy is affecting everybody. This fuel subsidy, our president should listen to the masses and try to bring it down. Let him bring the fuel subsidy down. Let him help the masses. We are suffering. We are suffering in the country. That's all I to say for now.
Others agree that democratic rule is better than military rule, but says progress has been too slow and often unfair.
Stop fooling ourselves. There is nothing like democracy in this place. Nigeria as a whole, there is nothing like democracy. Let me just tell you the truth. So I don't have anything to say other than to say there is nothing like democracy. Them themselves, they know the truth. There is nothing like democracy. If they say there is democracy, left for them. But for me, there is no democracy.
As Nigeria continues on this democratic journey, the hope of the people remains unchanged. Good governance, accountability, and a country that works for everyone. Happy Democracy Day, Nigerians. From Owerri, Amarachi Ibe, reporting for Global TV News.
All right, welcome back. We understand that we've been joined right now by Teve Akase, who is the former Chief Press Secretary to Benue State Governor Otom, is joining us all the way from Benue State to talk about even the insecurity that is happening in Benue State. Good morning, and so good to have you join us this morning, Mr. Teve Akase. All right. We're trying to find out from, we'll be talking with Mr. Teve Akase to find out about the incessant killings in Benue State that we've experienced. Just this morning also, there's a report that there have been an attack in the capital city of Benue State, talking about Makurdi by herdsmen this morning, the early hours of this morning. Well, and this is not just a one-off activity that's become like a recurring thing in Benue State, where day in, day out, we get to record at least a minimum number of attacks in Benue State. We cannot categorically place a number around the figures of the attack, but then we know that this is a recurring thing in Benue State. While the government, the governor of the state and the members of the All Progressive Congress will say that it is caused by the opposition party and people that are trying to destabilize the state and ensure that the state is ungovernable for Governor Ayesint Alia. Well, the opposition would say, on the other hand, that they have no business in all of this. People, of course, a lot of spectators will say this is like politics as usual, where lives are going and nobody wants to take the blame even on all of this. Well, good morning, Mr. Teve Akase. All right, so we're still trying to get Mr. Teve to join us right now. So, Mr. Teve, if you can hear me, I can hear you loud and clear. Good morning. All right, so we will go for a short break right now. When we come back, we'll talk to Mr. Teve, even trying to find out from him what are the challenges in Benue State, the food basket of the nation. Has it changed overnight from the food basket to the food casket of the nation? Well, these are all conversations, stereotyped as they are. We're trying to find out, because the number of deaths in Benue State, just last week we recorded more than 50 deaths in Benue State just last week, and this week the death toll is rising. We're optimistic that we'll be able to the government will bring a lasting solution to all of this challenge. But before we go for this break right now, don't forget that you can also join the conversation right now on our various social media platforms currently showing on your screen using @Global TV NG, and you can also download the Global TV Nigerian mobile app from your Android and iOS devices to keep track of our broadcast. We'll go for this break right now. When we come back, we'll talk more. Please stay with us.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
and at the same time keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
We're on the road to protest. And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
All right, welcome back. Good morning, and so good to have you, Mr. Teve Akase. All right, let's even delve into the conversation. There are a lot of issues even arising from Benue State. One of those issues is the issue of insecurity in Benue State. But at this point, I wanted to bring us up to speed. What's the level of security or otherwise in Benue State right now? All right, Mr. Tebe, I think you've muted us from your own end, so we are struggling to hear you from here. So if you can kindly unmute us, and let's get to even join you in the conversation right now. So bring us up to speed. What's happening in Benue State this morning? Oh, Mr. Tebe, if you can hear us, we're trying to find out from you this morning about the incessant insecurity and attacks being recorded in Benue State. Want to find out from you at this point what is really happening in Benue State in terms of security and otherwise. Are these another political theatrics by politicians in order to galvanize support and sympathy from citizens in order to canvass for votes come 2027? Well, let's get all of this conversation going right now. Mr. Tebe, if you can hear me, we can't hear you at the moment, but we believe that's a technical glitch. But then we believe that will be resolved after this break. We'll take a short break right now. When we come back, we'll talk more even on these issues. Please stay with us. Felicity, we cannot hear his audio. We can't hear him at all. Shit. Guys, what's the update now? I beg nothing. I think you only hear the audio. These guys are not even talking to me.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and international.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
We're on the road to protest. And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
Right, welcome back. Well, sincere apologies for that delay in bringing even that conversation from Mr. Teve Alkasem. Mr. Teve Alkasem, we can hear you loud and clear right now. Please go ahead. How will you assess the various insecurity challenges in Benue State right now? Right, so we understand that Benue State as at this morning. Yeah, please go ahead, we can hear you now. Mr. Akase, let's even talk about the whole process of Benue State, where there's been a lot of tension even in Benue State. As of this morning, we understand that there is a conflict in there's an attack rather in Makurdi. Well, can you confirm this particular incident and the various attacks that we've having in Benue State? At this point, are these attacks politically motivated, or they are based on ethnic, coming from ethnic backgrounds or ethnic sentiment that is causing or inflicting these pains on a lot of Benuites? When we look at all of this critically.
Ezekiel. This one has suffered and they suffer me like this. But he just told me that it's okay now. But he told me that it's okay, that you can get his audio and you're live on me. What nonsense all of this now? You told me you can. This one thing confirm with you. Did you get his audio? Then you got his audio.
All right. Mr. Kasa, we have to interrupt you at this moment. Sincerely apologize. We'll just take a short break, and when we come back, we'll even talk more even from that angle. Please just hold your thoughts right there, and we're coming back to you in a minute.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
We're on the road to protest. And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
We're on the road to protest. And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
We're on the road to protest. And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
Welcome back, and just in case you're just joining us, not to worry, you've not missed much on the show, because this is where we get to talk to you about the pressing national issues, pressing national discourse, and taking you around the shores of Nigeria to bring you angles and perspective that will help you start your day. We understand that we're still having a slight challenge even getting reports from Benue State, trying to find out what's going on in Benue State. But then we won't also deny the fact that also when it has to do with democracy celebration across the country, no part of the country was left even in this whole celebration, the fanfare that greeted the country as at yesterday, speaking about Democracy Day. Well, I understand also right now our correspondent even in Benue State, in the person of Felicity in there, also was on the streets to find out what people from Benue State, also how they celebrated the Democracy Day and the reception that followed the whole celebration. Let's even take a listen and look at this video from Felicity in there, and then we'll come back to talk more even on Global Morning.
Nigeria observes Democracy Day in honor of the June 12, 1993 election each year, an electoral exercise widely regarded as the country's most credible poll, won by the late Chief Moshood Abiola.
Today, everybody celebrates Nigeria as a common entity.
Democracy Day activities in Benue commenced with a statewide live broadcast by Governor Hyacinth Alia from the government house in Makurdi.
Let us not forget the countless Benue citizens, men, women, and youth who lost their lives in various crises across our communities while defending their land and their right to be heard. Democracy thrives only when the people are heard, respected, and protected.
Shortly after the broadcast, the governor was welcomed by a large gathering of union leaders, civil servants, political appointees and party loyalists who pledged their continued support for both his administration and that of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
We stand united for Your Excellency. Come 2027, you will be elected by the special grace of God. Let me also thank His Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, for his partnership and love for Benue State.
Addressing the pressing issue of security, Governor Alia reassured citizens that both state and federal government are collaborating to tackle the security crisis that has claimed numerous lives across Benue communities.
For those of us who have chosen and taken an oath to defend them and to protect them and to bring back peace. All the good people in the state, as we reflect on this great day that we celebrate, those who have made Nigeria today, let our conscience remind us of the fact that what unites us is greater than what divides us.
To mark the day, Governor Alia, represented by the Secretary to the State Government, Deborah Abe, visited the Nigerian Correctional Center to commemorate with inmates.
And this is because he recognizes the fact that you are citizens of Nigeria and you're citizens of Benue State.
For the people of Benue, Democracy Day is not only a time to reflect on past sacrifices, but also an opportunity to recommit themselves to protecting and upholding the ideas of democracy, a call to unity, hope, and continued nation building. In Makurdi, holding the ideas of democracy, a call to unity, hope, and continued nation building. In Makurdi, Felicity Ndere, reporting for Global TV News.
It was quite a colorful celebration across Nigeria. It would deny the fact that one thing that unites us as a people is the beauty in our diversity. It comes with a lot of colors and a lot of excitement, taking the conversation from the east through to the north central and back to even the western part of Nigeria and other part of the country. It's quite interesting seeing Nigerians even speaking up and even going about talking about Democracy Day. But then not also forgetting that Democracy Day in Nigeria is a one-off celebration. It's been celebrated every June the 12th of every year. Recall that President Muhammadu Buhari moved the date from May 29 in 2018 and moved it to where we are right now. But in all of this, the question that we keep asking, even on this on Global Morning today, is the celebration of Democracy Day a one-off thing? It's just a thing that is designed for the president only, because a lot of people, spectators, were all waiting for the president to give even his remarks yesterday. Nigerians were waiting for the president to speak up yesterday as early as 7, only to be informed that the presidential address has been postponed and it will be captured even in the meeting with the joint section of the National Assembly yesterday. Now, it was quite interesting, but then again, we didn't also see a lot of governors give their own remarks. We didn't see governors give their own governor's speech, and we didn't see also, although the presidency from the federal has cancelled the parade that was supposed to be held here in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, but then we thought that we should be able to get a more of a collaboration, more of also replication of that parade being held in other parts of parts of the country in order to celebrate the day in a grand style. But then when our correspondent went around the Nigerian across the country, we realized that the celebration was not that loud. So the question is it that the federal government is the only tier of government that is saddled with that responsibility of celebrating the Democracy Day? What happened to the sub-nationals, even as it stands right now? Well, we'll keep doing a follow-up on that conversation to also find out from state governors, especially within the southwestern part of Nigeria and also the southeastern part of Nigeria. Not also forgetting the north central part of Nigeria, where we expected to see more over the parade in order to further boost and support the democracy that most of these regions largely have fought for, even in the country. Not forgetting that Northwest also, our entire country, we can't even take one region out of it. The entire nation fought hardly for democracy in 1993. It was a talk of the country coming out to support democratical principles, speaking about the election that happened between Tofa and MKO Abiola. And that election, for most people, they will say that is the freest and fairest election in the country. And that election unified Nigeria. That election also saw the likes of political stakeholders put aside their differences and upheld national interest. That election, for many that were opportune to witness that election, will say that election also stands as the benchmark for our current celebration, even as we begin to talk about our democratical journey in the Fourth Republic 26 years after. And we've been better off, and we keep evolving even in that space of talking about our democracy. But then it is what it is. We can't stop talking about the truth here and standing with it here on this the show Global Morning. Well, there are quite a lot of issues to discuss even this morning across Nigeria. We'll just take another break, and when we come back, we will delve into some other national issues. Please stay with us as Global Morning continues in a moment.
Is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and international.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
We're on the road to protest. And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
All right, welcome back. I understand that we can now hear Mr. Tofa, Mr. Akase loud and clear. Good morning, Mr. Akase. All right, so Mr. Akase, bring us up to speed. What's happening in Benue State even this morning? We understand that there is an attack even on the state capital. What's the security situation in Benue State as at this morning?
Well, if you hear that there is an attack anywhere in Benue State now, do not be surprised. The attacks have been happening every now and then. So even though I have not looked at the social and conventional media now to know exactly which location the attacks happen, and I have not contacted security agencies to be precise on where the attacks happen. But what is going on in Benue is very, very unfortunate. It is an agenda, an occupation agenda. Some people have chosen to come and take over this land, and they have never hidden their intentions. It's been for a decade now. They've been trying, and that's why in 2017, precisely in May 2017, on the 22nd of May 2017, the government of Benue State at that time under Samuel Ruto enacted the law cited as open grazing prohibition and ranches establishment law of the state, and had a component called livestock guards, which was the component, the enforcement component of the law. And for a number of times, the armed headers were chased out of the state, because the law is precise that if you want to rear animals, if you want to go into animal husbandry in Benue State, you have to do it according to the laws of the law of this land. Now, unfortunately, the current government came and suspended that law and disbanded the livestock guards and converted their trucks for impoundment of animals which were breaking the law. Those trucks now are being used by the state-owned transport company for cargo. They are being used for cargo purposes. And that has now encouraged and emboldened the armed headers to return to Benue State in droves with their animals. They are everywhere now. And if they encroach on your land and you say anything, you want to protest, then they attack you. And if some communities have been taken over. Many communities in Benue State have been taken over by the pastoralists. And if you want to go, if you have to lose somebody, you want to go to your community and bury that person, you have to pay money to the invaders, the pastoralists, before they allow you to go and bury your loved one. That's how bad the situation has gone to. And so it's very sad. The camps, the IDP camps are swelling up. And the most unfortunate thing is that the current government has been living in denial of all these attacks. The government has been sending one narrative after another. The first time they said the people of Benue State were rustling cows, and that's why the attacks were happening. The second time he said the headers are coming from Mali, from Niger, from other places, that they are not even Nigerians. And the latest narrative that he is pushing is that Abuja politicians are the ones sponsoring the attacks. So you can see the contradictory narratives being churned out by this government. And the people are confused. The government of the state, in the constitution of Nigeria, security is what is mandatory for government to do at all levels. And the other one is welfare, which is even easy. But security is very precise. The constitution says government must provide security. So when you have a government that is not telling the people what is the true situation of what they are facing, then you have a problem. For some time, this government was denying the attacks, and they kept sending those narratives. So the people are becoming wary. The people are becoming confused, and we are praying that politics will not be introduced into this matter, because lives are involved here. Now, Yesterday I saw a video of the so-called Abuja politicians, those in the National Assembly, 3 senators and House of Reps members, did a press conference and challenged the governor of Esetelia to name those who are responsible for the attacks. Now that the elephants are fighting, the people who will suffer, the grass will suffer, and the grass is the people. It's so unfortunate. We expected that majority of the people are members of the same APC, and we expected that the government of Benue State will collaborate with the National Assembly members. Many of them are very close to the Senate President, to get security agencies come to Benue State and help our people to live, to go to their bed with eyes closed. But the governor and the National Assembly member, there's this hide and seek game that is going on, and those members are not challenged to confirm, to prove his allegations. And we are also waiting that the government of Benue State will prove the allegations, because what our people need is security, not the blame shifting that is going on.
All right. Well, Mr. Tabe Akase, when you look at these old conversations, even in Benue State, looking at the various conversations around the various attacks in Benue, of course the governor have come out to say that this is largely tied to politicians who are based in Abuja, and of course you've also reiterated that the politicians have come out to challenge the governor for him to bring out those people that he feel are behind this mask of championing the cause of and so. But then there is this part of the conversation that has to do with the People's Democratic Party as they being on the forefront of championing the cause of insecurity and political tension, unrest and instability in Benue State. How correct is this narrative that PDP are also behind this in order to create some form of confusion in order to gain the masses' interest in all of this?
That is a false narrative. That is false. The PDP, especially in Benue State where I live, has been championing the cause of protecting the lives of property, the lives and property of Benue people. And that's why when the governor put that narrative out that politicians are the ones sponsoring the killings, PDP came out immediately and challenged him to prove that allegation. Because when you play politics with matters of security, then the people are the ones who will suffer the brunt of it. Now, the PDP believes that it is only when you have security that development can thrive. In an atmosphere of insecurity, investors will not come in. Even local investors will be afraid to locate their industries and give employment to people. So the PDP has been in the vanguard of championing the cause of security. And it happened during Samuel Otom's tenure. Of course, he started in APC, but after 3 over to PDP. And so the 5 years or so of office, and the last 5 years, he did honor the PDP, and he tackled his government of the PDP, tackled insecurity in Benue State. So the same political party cannot turn around and be encouraging insecurity for political reasons, because our people are agrarian, they deserve to go back to their farms. Benue is the food basket of this country, and if you have attacks coming to our farmers every other day, then the basket will be empty. So PDP is aware of this fact, and that is why the party challenged His Excellency Governor Isaac Alia to prove his allegation, accusing Abuja politicians. Because remember that this insecurity started around 2011, 2012. So if you are accusing people who are in politics now, many of them were still civil servants at that time who are now in Abuja.
All right. Mr. Teve Akase, there's quite a lot of things we will talk about this morning, but I've been signaled right now that it's time for us to go. But we'll keep the conversation open even as it stands right now so that we can also have get some other angles to this in order to create a balance. We'll also thank you at this point for finding out time to be with us even on Global Morning today.
It is my thing.
All right, we'll go for this short break, and when we come back, we will still talk more even on the Global Morning as myself and Jumai will be looking at all around the country and try to cross the I's and dot the T's in what's going on in the country, especially within the space of a political and human angle in Nigeria right now. It's still a period of democracy and, of course, in the period of celebration. We'll go for this short break and we'll come back after this break. Welcome back. Well, Jumai, quite an interesting time to celebrate democracy across Nigeria.
Yes, quite a very interesting time, and at the same point, we just hope that all the crises in the states will be doused down with immediate effect, and all we want is peace and for the prosperity of individuals and, of course, Nigerians in the country. Everyone has their own different opinions when it comes to this particular issue, but at the same time, whatever opinion an individual have or people have at the same time, let it just be for the betterment of the people of Nigeria and, of course, Nigerians as a whole.
There is no prosperity in conflict.
There is no prosperity,
in violence. There is no prosperity even in there is no convenience or prosperity in ensuring that you destabilize the system that is meant to promote our daily lives. So we assume for peace at this point, even in Benue State and across the country. Use whatever office you find yourself, whatever capacity you find yourself. Of course, it's a period of democracy, it's a freedom of expression, but we assume for peace even as we begin to express our thoughts and our own personal beliefs that if we don't have a peaceful nation, we can prosper as a people.
Of course, and just to interject, Godwin, and the truth is everyone will have their own opinions when it comes to this particular issue, blame game and all of that. But at the same time, please, let it just be for the betterment of Nigeria. We're one. We're united. Diversity shouldn't be what causes all of these issues. We're all one under the umbrella. We do not have any other country. I always promote Nigeria anywhere I am. Whether the ruling party, the opposition party, please just come to a particular fence and let's just move forward. There's no need for blame game. The most important issue here is Nigeria and, of course, Nigerians. And at this point, we have to wrap it up on the program Global Morning. And thank you so much for all, the Commissioner of the Chief Secretary, all the way from Benue State, of course, for being a part of the program this morning. And we hope you go out and get your national dailies to be well abreast with issues making round. And at the same time, remember, keep